Donald Trump has gone missing for the past 48 hours. No one has seen him. And as he has gone missing, he is now preparing to give Iran $300 billion as part of the United States surrender. Of course, the Trump regime isn't framing it that way, but that's what's going down. The Trump regime is saying, we're going to give $300 billion to a Middle East investment fund. But what that money really is reparations for Iran. It's one of Iran's demands. That $300 billion is in addition to the $24 billion of assets that Iran is also demanding be unfrozen immediately. Where the hell is Donald Trump? Someone who is constantly out there talking to the press, lying daily, has not been seen for 48 hours. At the same time, he went to Walter Reed this week. At the same time, Pam Bondi, his former attorney general, refused to answer any questions about Donald Trump when asked during this House oversight deposition, which she refused to take under oath, and she refused to be filmed on camera. When she did mention Donald Trump, she said she doesn't know about Donald Trump's past and whether he had friendships or connections with Epstein. So that kind of threw him under the bus. But Donald Trump, nowhere to be found. Trump, nowhere to be found. At the same time, a federal judge moments ago issued a ruling to remove Donald Trump's name from the Kennedy Center and to stop all of Donald Trump's destruction of the Kennedy Center. Donald Trump is missing in action. Where is Donald Trump? At the same time, another federal judge blocked Donald Trump's weaponization, $1.8 billion slush fund for January 6th insurrectionists. That has been blocked, and Donald Trump has gone missing. Let's break down what is going on. The White House claimed that there was a 2-hour Situation Room meeting that took place, but apparently Donald Trump has made no decision in this Situation Room. He was just sitting there, probably falling asleep if he was even there at all. I showed you footage yesterday of Treasury Secretary Bessent, who was in the White House, and he claimed that he hadn't seen Donald Trump as of yesterday. You have the Trump regime leaking, as they usually do, to Barack Ravid and Axios. A deal was supposed to happen this morning. I kid you not. Barack Ravid of Axios does it again. It's daily market manipulation. In my opinion, it's what it is. You're entitled to your own opinion. And Ravid denies that he's directly involved. Regardless, we see that the impact and the consequence is that of manipulation, in my view. Ravid goes, breaking. Trump signals he's about to approve Iran deal. And I'll show you what Donald Trump posted in a moment, which did not signal that at all. But Donald Trump hasn't made any public appearances at all. And here's what we learned. One of the newest and most surprising elements, not surprising to me, of the Iran draft deal is a proposed investment fund for Iran. $300 billion cash money for Iran. And Iran says, look, this is reparations for war damage, which we estimate is between $300 billion to $1 trillion. So the U.S. side of it, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, they said this is an investment fund and we want to help facilitate real estate deals. And they believe this softer framing will help Donald Trump save face when Donald Trump surrenders. And so Kushner and Witkoff, who have personal dealings with the Middle East to the tune of billions of dollars, right? I mean, Kushner's fund, they're now saying we're going to do an investment fund to funnel money to Iran. And so Donald Trump then posted this morning, again, he's MIA. No one knows where the hell he is. Here's what he posts on social media. Iran must agree that they will never have a nuclear weapon or bomb. The Hormuz Strait must immediately open, no tolls for unrestricted shipping traffic in both directions. All water mines, bombs, if any, will be terminated. We have removed through detonation numerous such mines with our great underwater minesweepers. By the way, that's not true. Ships caught in the strait due to our amazing unprecedented naval blockade, which will now be lifted, may start the process of heading home. So that was a line that Iran wanted him to post to show submission, that Donald Trump says, our naval blockade, which will now be lifted. But notice how Donald Trump tries to embed it in a longer sentence, which Iran didn't appreciate as all. Then Donald Trump says, to all of these ships, have your captains and shipmates say hello to your wives, husbands, parents, and families for me. Your favorite president. He goes on to say that nuclear dust, which is buried deep underground with virtually collapsed mountains, will be unearthed by the U.S. And then he goes on to say it will be destroyed. Then Trump goes, no money will be exchanged until further notice. Notice the line, until further notice. So right now, then further notice, it will be exchanged. That's how Donald Trump tries to engage in all of this fraud with the wordplay. He thinks he's being sneaky, but then Iran responds as follows. One of their top national security leaders, Ibrahim Azizi, who we've been following, he goes, Trump should understand Iran, as the victor on the ground, sets the term. Cash for cash, credit for credit, nothing for nothing. And that applies only to issues actually under negotiation, not to his fantasies. MB Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament leader and lead negotiator, writes, 1. We seize concessions not through dialogue, but with missiles. In negotiations, we merely make them understand. We have no trust in guarantees or words. Only actions are the measure. No action will be taken before the other side acts. The winner of any agreement is the one who is better prepared for war from the day after. And Ghalibaf is saying, Iran is ready for war. Are you ready for war, Donald? Because you seem to have disappeared over the past 48 hours to try to find some way to save face when not only are you about to give $24 billion in unfrozen assets, but $300 billion as well in an investment fund. And Iran, through its Fars news agency, here's what they had to say about that Trump Truth Social post and demand that they said. They go, look, that demand is the complete opposite of what's in draft text. And they say, we're not opening Hormuz without tolls, or we're not removing mines or dismantling nuclear materials unless and until you make an immediate payment, cash money right away. $12 billion to show your submission, another $12 billion to follow, then the $300 billion investment fund. So Trump runs to the Situation Room, apparently, though nobody's seen him. Just think about that. 3 days nobody sees this guy, basically, to make a final determination. Then he goes on to basically say, I haven't been able to make a decision yet. But then he reposts this from something called Tablet Mag that nobody's heard of. Who wants this war? Answer, winners like Trump. That's epic fury. Revising in fire and steel 47 years of American defeat at the hands of an anti-American regime that no U.S. president dared challenge until Trump. Me in Tablet Magazine. And Donald Trump reposts that. Like, you realize we all know that you lost. You said you were going to do X, Y, and Z, and you got none of it. No regime change, as you said. No complete demolition of Iranian nuclear material. You didn't knock out all of their ballistic missiles and drones. They're stronger and more entrenched than ever. That's the reality. Look, after you threatened to blow Oman to smithereens, a country that's known for its diplomacy in the region, you go after Oman. Here's what Foreign Minister Araghchi of Iran posted. Today, this morning, in very productive call with Foreign Minister of Oman, it expressed and we expressed Iran's solidarity with Oman in the face of any threat. We discussed Hormuz and its future administration in line with our sovereign responsibilities and international law. We welcome consultation with all neighboring states. Meanwhile, in Lebanon, where you have Israeli military operations extending past the Litani River, Israel escalating its attacks within Beirut, within Tyre or Sur, depending on if you're Arabic. Israel knows that for Iran, a ceasefire that includes Hezbollah, that includes Lebanon, and Hezbollah in Lebanon is one of the security guarantees that Trump has to agree to for this overall peace deal. And so Israel is escalating the attacks on Lebanon right now. Ali Hashem, well-sourced in the region as a reporter. Here's what he says. A well-informed source told me that Trump's Truth Social post about lifting the blockade was in fact the first condition before moving to the next steps of the understanding. According to the source, the Iranian side insisted on a formal public announcement first. Trump appears to have framed it as a secondary issue, while Tehran sees it as a key confidence-building measure before entering the more sensitive files. So far, there has been no direct discussion of the nuclear file itself. The process is expected to move gradually through an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, where every step will be matched by a reciprocal step. The same sources say a ceasefire announcement between Hezbollah and Israel is also expected as part of the broader framework currently taking shape, which would be a complete defeat in Netanyahu's mind for Netanyahu. And so that's why Netanyahu now is continuing to escalate. Now, Donald Trump, MIA, nowhere to be found, as I noted at the outset of the video, while two critical federal rulings gutting Donald Trump this morning. One, get your name off the Kennedy Center, judge ruled moments ago. And then separately, another order blocking any so-called weaponization fund, blocking the slush fund of $1.8 billion until further notice. And then Pam Bondi's testimony or statements, speech, if you will, because she refused to go under oath about the Epstein file. She mostly refused to answer questions about Donald Trump's connections with Epstein. She was represented by a Justice Department lawyer who was apparently claiming the lawyer was in her personal capacity, Harmeet Dillon. And Pam Bondi was out there. The one thing that she did say about Trump is, I don't really know what his relationship was like with Epstein. I can't answer that. I know he didn't have one. And so it does seem like there is a bit of a breakage in that connection between Bondi and Trump right there. So we'll keep you posted when this guy surfaces, but 48 hours, MIA. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.